Welcome to the world of warships with Captain Yamo. I am your host, Captain Yamo, and this is the Tier 8 Japanese battleship, the Amagi. I haven't nicknamed her yet. Am I the only person that nicknames these things? I mean, like the Mogami, call her the Drew Barrymore because she's a fire starter. Um, the Mahan, I call it, actually the Farragut, its nickname was the Troll. The Königsberg is the Pimp Strong Hand. I've got a couple names for some of my ships. I wonder if I'm the only person that does that. You know, like in World of Tanks, I actually would name the guns. You know, you got the KV-2 Boris and his big gun Natasha. Of course, you knew it had to be. And let's see what we're looking at. Ooh, two Iowas and Izumo Tirpitz. So they have battleship advantage. And it looks like we have a slight advantage in cruisers. But just a slight one. And then not really a big advantage in the destroyers. So we're on the wrong side of the odds here. So we'll see what we can do. Let's see, I'm going to guess she's at about 6. Let's see where these shells get to. Yeah, not a bad call. I'll take that. Felix the cat. The wonderful, wonderful cat. And once I get these shots off, I'm going to be angling away from her. In fact, it looks like she's already angling a little bit for those torps. We'll see where those go. You know. Yeah, see, the North Carolina is turning into all of that fire right now. Not a great place to be. Let's see if we can't knock the York out. I'm giving her about, that looks like about an 8 lead, and it's not going to be enough. It's strange. It seems like after they've updated just recently, all of my aim points are off a bit. It's all right though. You use the lazy-eyed gunnery, and you can figure them out pretty quick. Ooh, was I zoomed in? Was I not zoomed in all the way? Or zoomed out far enough? I'm not sure. All right, there's the Atlanta. And those are aimed at the headland. You know, this has been another problem since they updated to the most recent update. I've noticed that a lot more of my shots are heading for islands and crap. Ooh, nice. Alright. Oops, had a little bounce there. Yeah, am I the only person that names these things? Is that I don't know. It just, sometimes you give them a name and then you could just yell it out, you know? I'll be playing a match and I'll be yelling out, yeah, go Drew Barrymore, or whatever, and my wife would get all upset. Just joking. She knows it's the ship name. Yeah, oh, he wasn't. Look at that. There's no smoke coming out of his stacks. Total missed opportunity right there. And it looks like the east is falling. If we're checking our mini-map, which we should be doing on a regular basis, right? Maybe not. Destroyer, cruiser, battleship is roughly even out there. See, give her about a 8.5, 9. See, look, it's going for the island. Well, one of them did. Bam! Get out of here. That's what I meant to do earlier. It's funny, after they patch things, it doesn't always necessarily fix all the problems, and sometimes they end up introducing new problems, which is fine. Oh, she's going backwards, and she's barely moving. Some of those shells got a hit. Nope. Ooh. We're gonna hit the chalk line. Time to come about. So it looks like with the future upgrades there, the Russian cruisers are gonna get this radar consumable, and it's gonna have a range out to 9 kilometers. They'll be able to spot ships in the middle of. They'll be able to spot ships in the middle of smoke screens and whatever else. What do you think about this? Do you think this is going to be an improvement? What would be an improvement is if I hit my targets. I'm going to get in the slot between these torps, slow down so that I can start coming about. There we go. Come about, Amagi. Yeah, the Amagi's firepower is pretty impressive if you haven't played her. She has 410mm guns. You don't get... we're going to hit another island. Well, it's good, I've heard that the people on these islands are collaborators with the enemies. So yeah, I want to know what you think about these new consumables. Do you think the radar is gonna help? I think what's gonna end up happening is that they're buffing everything around the destroyers, and destroyers didn't really need to be debuffed. They didn't really need to get nerfed at all, but they got it anyways. And now they're making everything else stronger. They're increasing the accuracy of battleships, or they did it a long time ago. They increased the accuracy of battleships out to 8 kilometers, and I thought that was too much already. And now with cruisers, American and Russian cruisers with the radar apparatus, I think that what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up having to buff the destroyers. I don't see any other way around it. And primarily I used to be a destroyer player, but after they nerfed it, they hit it with that big old nerf bat. It just wasn't as fun. It was just too difficult. Like, if you're closing with a battleship of equal tier, because of the rock paper scissors nature of this game, if you're on a equal tier destroyer with the battleship you're closing on, you should be killing them. Pretty much, I would say 70% of the time it should be a destroyer taking down a battleship. But in my experience, playing the destroyer, it's a lot closer to 50%, and it should never be that high. Oh, hopefully those shots are gonna go there. Yep. Some solid hits, but didn't do that much damage. One of the things I've noticed about the Amagi, especially shooting at the Iowa, is that it feels like we're way more effective when we're shooting HE at her. I'm looking forward to getting my Iowa, I'll tell you. And when I do, I think I'm going to be posting up some of the video footage I've taken from when I visited the Iowa. Which is in the port of Los Angeles. It's kind of a sticking point if you're from San Pedro to call it the port of Los Angeles, because it's really the port of San Pedro. And if you look at a map of the city of Los Angeles, there's this ridiculous little strip of continuous Los Angeles city that reaches all the way down, way far outside of Los Angeles, which is like upwards of 30 to 45 miles away, I think, at a guess. So, we could probably be switching over to AP after this show. But when it was realized how important the port of San Pedro was going to be to ensuring that LA was a powerhouse of a modern city, they went through a bunch of legal shenanigans to annex parts of I can't even remember the name of the city right now. It's the city with all the oil refineries right there by San Pedro, and I just can't think of the name. It's escaping me. That's alright. It doesn't matter. Anyways, they went through a bunch of legal shenanigans to annex all kinds of land, reaching all the way down to the port of Los Angeles. I'm sorry, reaching down to the port of San Pedro, which they then decided to call the port of Los Angeles. And it looks like those are going to be too far in front. Got some good damage on her, though. Well, not really. Got good hits, not good damage. So, long story short, the USS Iowa is in port at the port of Los Angeles, which is really connected to the city of San Pedro, just north of Long Beach. Oh, she stopped. Darn it. Bad shooting. I'm lucky I got any hits there. And so when I finally unlock the Iowa, I think I'll be making a visit there to, take some photos and some video footage. You see how big the shells were on these things. You get a look at this ship and how amazing it is. We've been there before, and I think it's a little pricey for what you're allowed to see, but it's still pretty amazing. Alright, let's see. So we got 174,000 credits out of that, 3,792 XP, 30 hits, 1 destroyed, 2 Citadel shots. Yeah, well, that really wasn't that fantastic a game, but I need to post something. So we got 1,264 base credits is okay. 14 hits out of 156 is atrocious shooting. My shooting woes continue. But we managed to do 58,000 or so, 59,000 or so points of damage on those 14 hits. So you take what you can get, right? After repair and resupply, we didn't take much damage. We made a healthy earnings of 150,000 credits, and with the premium bonus, we're up all the way at 3,792. So let me know what you think about the updates. Have you been having trouble with your shooting post update, and what do you think about the radar consumable? Do you think that this is really going to overpower battleships and cruisers and other vehicles against the destroyers, or do you think I'm wrong on the destroyers? Do you think maybe that they're finally going to be balanced with this? Let me know. Leave a comment. Say something. I'd like to thank you for joining me on World of Warships with Captain Yamo, and I hope to see you on the digital high seas.